Tonight we're going to revisit a firm old favourite, the Sangean ATS 803A. But before we get started, I'd like to wish my viewers a very Merry Christmas and a very happy New Year for 2016. And thank you very much for the kind comments that you've made on a number of my videos. They're all pretty amateurish, I know that, but it's still a bit of fun. Alright, again, thank you for that. Well, let's get on to the radio. As I said, tonight we're going to have a look at Sangean ATS 803A. Now, these were a particularly popular radio. They came out, I think, in competition with the Sony 2001D, which is also known as the Sony 2010. And had nowhere near the functions that the Sony had, but nonetheless they got a firm following through quite a number of shortwave radio devotees, and particularly medium wave devotees. These radios were well known for their medium wave performance. Now, they came out in two versions. The earlier version was the Sangean ATS 803, and primarily the main difference was that it didn't have switchable bandwidths, whereas the 803A came out with the bandwidths which I must admit certainly desirable to have on the radio. Now, the station we're listening to in the background there, 9765 kilohertz on the 31 metre band. That's Radio New Zealand International, and always a good station to listen to. Alright, now we've got on the radio, the features of the radio. We've got the keypad, and it's very, very easy to enter frequencies in. You just type the frequency and hit execute. You've got a mode button. You've got memory storing, memory buttons there. You've got a memory scan function, and your recall for your memory stations. Now, the up-down you would think would be slewing controls, but actually they're not. They only increment by 1 kilohertz on the shortwave band. Down the bottom there you can see you've got, pardon the camera shake, this is a handheld phone. You've got a button for FM, button for AM, button for long wave, medium wave and short wave. FM is self-explanatory. If you engage the AM, it basically means that you can type a frequency in across the entire AM range. Long wave, of course, restricts you to entering frequencies in the long wave band. Likewise with medium wave and the short wave, you can increment through the standard or relatively standard short wave international broadcast bands. Over this side, you've got the power on-off button. You've got a slider volume control. You've got a balance control there, which is to listen to FM stereo through your headphones. You've got slider treble and slider bass control. Below that you've got BFO pitch control, you've got RF gain control, and below that again you have your FM mono stereo control, and also the AM bandwidth wide narrow. You've also got BFO on off, and you've got a lock function as well. Now, a lot of people did modifications to these radios, whereby they use the BFO to be able to control as a fine tuning, which actually this radio has, and which is very, very handy. Okay, over this side of the radio, we have a fairly chunky rotary tuning control. Over this side of the radio, we have Sort of, I think it's a line out DIN socket there. Below that we have a headphone socket, and we've also got a DC input. Now you might notice this unusual control here. It's actually a lock. Now I've never seen this on any of the radios before, and the chap I got this off assures me that it was original when he bought the radio from new, and I think it was basically a prototype. But they are not on any of the other radios that I'm aware of. On the back you've got a tilt bail, and you've also got your battery compartment, and you'll notice there under the 6 normal batteries you've got 2 AA cells which control the clock and the synthesizer. Now on top of the radio you have, I hope I don't drop the phone in a minute, you've got a light, you've got a sleep and a timer control there. And just on the light you can see it lights up the display quite well there. Now, as I said earlier, these radios were quite renowned for their AM broadcast band performance, and I would attest to that. They do perform particularly well, and however, despite its rather lengthy antenna, shortwave is fairly standard of Sangean's, a little bit possibly on the deaf side, but still quite good performance on the shortwave band. Likewise with FM. So definitely radio, if you see one of these, definitely worth radio thinking about picking it up. They do, as I say, they do perform well, and I don't think you'd ever be disappointed with them. Do look out though for the 803A version. It just gives you that little bit of extra with the wide narrow bandwidth. All right, thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed tonight's presentation of the Sangean ATS 803A. Cheers, and again, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.